afternoon.
Well, hi everyone. The first event of the afternoon is indeed a White Top Championship, sponsored by Whitbread Chester's, one of our local breweries up here in the northwest of England, from Cook Street, Salford in Lancashire. The Chester's White Top Championship then. The cars will shortly be emerging from the pits. And of course we can't check the lineup until they're out there on the track, but just as soon as they are, we will check the lineup, and then it's on with the farewell to Stuart Smith meeting. 4-8 Jeff Wilkinson, and on the second row we've got car 424 Mike Haywood, and then it's 226 Mark Webster. And they've got the green. We're off into the Chester's White Top Championship. 16 cars, 16 laps. And problem straight away for Mike Haywood in 424. He goes shooting across the nearly laid curve there. Very nice and white, and it's all over the car now, 424. Tangle down on the funfair turn, takes out 4 mile in 183, and Eric Graveling in 315. On the back straight, the 301 car of Dave Shaw turns around, and on the home straight, the leader going through is Jeff Wilkinson in 148. Round the funfair turn into the back straight go the lead cars, 148 Jeff Wilkinson from 226 Mark Webster. Running third now, it looks like Dave Littlewood in 56. And that's the top three coming back to the home straight again. 148, the lead man. 226 is second. Then there's a gap back to 56. Dave Littlewood behind him is Thomas in 21, and then Wiley in 205. And Wilkinson in 121, and that's the top six. So the lead cars coming from the pits turn through onto the home straight. Wilkinson not finding a straight line down that straight in 148, but holds on to his lead, with Webster chasing him in 226. Then we've got a lap down through one car of Dave Shaw, and Shaw has almost spun again on the funfair turn. So the top two have opened up quite a lead over the rest of the field. And the leader is in trouble with some back markers on the pits turn, and Webster goes through into the lead now in 226. Wilkinson relegated to second in 148. Third is Littlewood in 56. Fourth, 21 Thomas. Fifth, 205 Wiley, and sixth, 121 Wilkinson. Charles Pickering in 214 leads the rest of the pack. But it's Mark Webster who leads the race in 226, and he's back through on the home straight as Paul Marler bails out of his car, 183, parked by the fence on the home straight. Wilkinson again goes through onto the curb coming through the home straight, 148. Loses more ground and in fact almost spins himself on the funfair turn and drops out of the top places. So it's Webster in 226, clear of the field at the front. Coming through onto the home straight again and almost being knocked into a parked car there as Eric Graveling in 315 took exception to the leader. Graveling has blown a front tyre. He will be halfway next time for the lead man. And that lead man is Mark Webster, 226, heading now for the pits bend. So the Union Jack goes out, and the lead man is Mark Webster in 226, through and gone down into the funfair turn, and a long way clear of the rest of them. Going through second, it's Ian Wiley in 205, with Jeff Wilkinson third in 148. Chris Wilkinson is next in 121. Then it's Dave Thomas, 21, and Charles Pickering, 214. Behind them, it's Ian Walton in 388. And then it's 66 Mark Holt. And that was the top eight, and we're into the second half. Now Webster still holds on to his lead in 226. Exiting the funfair turn now, going to the back straight. With Ian Wiley running second in 205. The early leader, Jeff Wilkinson, now down in third place at 148. Positional changes further on down the line as Charles Pickering retires to the infield. Sparks coming from the underneath of his car. 214 retires from the race. And Webster, the lead man, is heading for the back straight in 226. Ian Wiley is still in second place in 205 with Jeff Wilkinson third in 148. And behind him it's Chris Wilkinson in 121. All back marker tangles on the home straight, two or three of them coming together as the leader heads for the home straight again. So Webster has gone through in 226. So the closing stages are upon us as the lead man comes through onto the home straight again. Webster in 2.26 goes through down to the Funfair turn. And in that battle for second place has 3 cars together down there on that bend. 2.05 Ian Wiley, and he's been taken out by Jeff Wilkinson. So Wiley drops from second to fourth, and Wilkinson goes back up to second. He's under pressure now though from Chris Wilkinson in 1.21. And the race leader Mark Webster taking it very steady in these closing stages. 2.26 car up the Funfair bend again. So Jeff Wilkinson beginning to close that gap in 1.48. He's running second. He's left Chris Wilkinson in 1.21 behind him now. So Webster in trouble on the pit bend exit, and onto the infield he goes, and that gives the lead back to Jeff Wilkinson, who led for the first 3 laps at 1.48. He's trying to get rid of that Marco Lesbunton in 2.68, and Wilkinson not finding it easy, almost tangled out with him there. Mark Webster is racing again. He's down in third place now though in 2.26. So the lead man is coming through onto the home straight. More about Marco and Wilkinson, he picks that curve down the home straight. The 1.48 car goes through onto the back straight. So it's Jeff Wilkinson in the lead in 1.48 from Chris Wilkinson in 1.21 and Mark Webster in 2.26, and it's beginning to look as though that's the way they go to finish. Wilkinson 1.48 goes over the line in the lead position there. Chris Wilkinson.
Bread and Company to the start-finish line. If there's a representative of Whitbread and Company to the start-finish line, please. Is past at present in the lead car there. The 1961 and 62 world champion from Oxford. He drove the number 38. Freddie Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Right behind him, driving the McNaughton car, number 68, the 1964 world champion, Trevor Frost. The 1967 world champion, 375 from Nebworth in Hertfordshire, George Ansell. My goodness, memories, what? Trying to recognise Absolutely tremendous stuff. Still about, as you can see, smiling broadly, 190, then will 1982, world champion, a very popular man of the 50s, the 60s, the 70s and the 80s. Number 2, Willie Harrison. Another ex-star man of the 70s. Good to see him back at the wheel of the car. 175, Glenn Percy. 3 times Formula 2 world champion. 667, Bill Batten. A man who set the Briscoe Raceway a month or 2 ago. Ex-Superstocks champion. Winner of the Wilmire 24-hour long-track endurance race from Rugby, Berkshire, 500, Roy Eaton. Gary Hooper there, 686. All got the funny these guys. 199, 1977 world champion Mike Close. The man that we were just talking to there in 686 is the 1986 Frost. That brings back memories. Arnie Ball, Gordon Smith, of course. Very hard man in his time down there on the raceways. 1986 Formula 2 points champion Russ Taylor is there. He shot straight past us very, very quickly. Glenn Percy, another hard man who always gave Smith a rough old time, and for a season or so they really had quite a duel, if you remember, where the bumpers were going here hard and fast whenever they met. Great respect for each other. Both enjoyed their stock car racing right to the very end. Freddie Mitchell, the Oxford-based man of the 60s, who of course won the maestro, Stuart Smith. A good opportunity, I think, too, to welcome our friends from NACO who are with us this afternoon. They've come over from Holland. They brought a very handsome trophy with them for this particular event. Sponsored by the Mirror. And the silver trophy down here, presented by the Mirror, is a solid silver trophy worth a lot of money and well worth racing for. Some of us begin to realise just how long we've been about. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon, Stuart Smith. Al Henderson over on the far side, assisted by Brian Beat, gets them sorted out into their grid order. Henderson, of course, going really well across the centre green. OK, Dave, we've had the introductions, and now it's your turn to enjoy the nostalgia up there, to read off those names, past and present. Pete Hearn indicates that it's 20 laps, right, Pete? 20 laps it is. OK, Dave, it's yours.
Thanks, Bev, and nostalgia indeed. George Ansell, the very first driver I followed in my Formula 1 stock car racing back when he was world champion, so delighted to see George here this afternoon, and delighted to be talking through the mic to Al Henderson in a few minutes. And that's the way we're off for racing for the champion of champions. Trevor Frost leads the mark as we go down around the front of the turn on the opening lap. The pushing and shoving starts down there as they go round into that turn. Russell Taylor slowly away in 7.44. Fred Mitchell forced to the outside in 38. But down to the pits turn they go. The lead men are coming around that turn back to the home straight, and it's Trevor Frost the leader from Stuban fourth and Gordon Smith third. Running fourth is Dougie Cronshaw, fifth Mike Close, and sixth is Roy Eaton. George Ansell gets a shunt there from Friedel Welters and Billy Batten as they go through to the funfair turn. Ansell dropping down the places as the lead men go through down to the pits turn. And it looks as though Ginchard has parked up on the pit bend there, 317 car, 258 the number. Pete Ginchard out of the running. And it's Trevor Frost the leader, but just look at Doug Cronshaw going through there, giving Mike Close something to think about on that Funfair turn, and Bamford's gone, the challenger is out, up on the Funfair turn. Fredown Walters marching through beautifully, he's through to 4th place in number 8. Down behind them it's Gordon Smith. So we've lost Freddie Mitchell, 38, he's retired to the infield, and Trevor Frost is the leader, but there's a battle for second between Mike Close and Doug Cronshaw, with Fredown Walters 4. Behind them comes the Gordon Smith car, and then we've lost Roy Eaton now, 500. He's parked up behind Stu Bamford on the Funfair turn. And Pete Ginchard's back in the running, and many a time we've seen Pete Ginchard do that. Maybe he's looking for someone to take away. Willie Howson spun on the pits turn. And the top 3 are close together on that pits bend now, and it's Trevor Frost in the Mick Noden car who leads them back to the home straight. Here they come with Trevor Frost the leader for 199 Mike Close and 396 Dougie Cronshaw. Fredown Walters is next. The bumper's going on the Funfair turn. Frost is forced out wide, and Cronshaw goes through second, and he's chasing Close all the way. How beautiful to see one of the masters at Bellevue back on the Bellevue show this afternoon. Doug Cronshaw there with 396 chasing Mike Close back to the home straight. The lead men go through again, and it's Close from Cronshaw. In 3rd place, Trevor Frost, 4th, Fredown Walters. In 5th place, Len Wolford at 190. Behind him, it's Frankie Wayman, and then dropping down the places a little bit now, we've got Gordon Smith, and then Stuart Smith. George Ansel has spun on the Funfair turn. Arnie Ball is limping into the back straight. And still the leader is Mike Close from Doug Cronshaw. Trevor Frost in 3rd place, Len Wolfenden through to 4th now. He's gone past Fredown Walters. And Wolfenden bidding for 3rd as he goes past Trevor Frost on the back straight. Walters trying to stay with him, climbs all over Trevor Frost down onto the pits turn. So it's Mike Close the leader, 199 from Doug Cronshaw in 396. 3rd is 190 Len Wolfenden, and 4th is the Trevor Frost car. Behind Trevor Frost, it's Fredown Walters, and then comes Frankie Wayman. Behind Frankie Wayman, it's Gordon Smith, and then comes Stuart Smith, and then Peter Fielding. And down amongst the line of places, we've got Billy Batten and Dave Miller, and then Ian Richards and Russell Taylor. And those are about the only ones left running, and they're down on the Funfair turn again with the battle really on for the lead now. And it's halfway next time round, so we're going to the halfway stage. They've close the leader going down to the pit turn, 199, being pursued by Cronshaw. Cronshaw leans on him hard on that pit turn. And Dougie's through to the front of the halfway stage. 396, Doug Cronshaw the leader. Mike Close in 2nd place. Back in 3rd, it's Len Wolfenden, and 4th is Trevor Frost. 5 Fredown Walters, 6 Frankie Wayman. 7th, Stuart Smith. Then in 8th place, Gordon Smith. Behind them in 9th place, it's Peter Fielding. And going through 10th is Dave Miller, and that was the top 10th. Being gone on the halfway. The lead men are through going down the home straight, and it's Cronshaw and Close broken away from the field, but Len Wolfenden's working very hard trying to get with them. Into the back straight go the leading 2. Cronshaw and Close. Wolfenden back in 3rd, and Trevor Frost is 4th. Fredown Walters 5. Frankie Wayman 6, and Stuart Smith 7, and Close is trying to get through on the inside of Cronshaw on the home straight. Pat Marcus in front of them as they go through down to the Funfair turn. We just lost Ian Richards down on that Funfair turn, and those back markers interfering with the progress of the lead men. They pass one of those back markers down into the pits turn, and Close just gives Cronshaw a nudge there as they come back to the home straight. Past that back marker, Russell Taylor. Close leaning on Taylor there, trying to get a poke into the back end of the Cronshaw car. And then Wolfenden's gone wide and lost a lot of ground in 3rd place on the Funfair bend. The top 2 are down on the pits turn. It's 396 and 199. Back into the home straight they come. And as they go through this time, they've got 5 to run next time. So we're heading for the closing stages of the Bailey Miller Champion of Champions, and it's Doug Cronshaw from Mike Close. A long way back in 3rd is Frankie Wayman with Stuart Smith 4, Fredown Walters 5, Trevor Frost 6. Dave Miller has cooked himself on the pits turn. He's caused a problem for Cronshaw, and Close is back through into the lead with 5 to run. So Mike Close regains the lead. Cronshaw chasing hard after him around that Funfair turn and into the back straight. And those two are a long way clear, a quarter of an hour clear of Frankie Wayman, who's third. Stuart Smith is third or fourth, and Cronshaw's third again. He leans hard on close on that pit stern. And Cronshaw is back in front, and he's got 4 to run as he goes through this time. My goodness, how we're turning the clocks back to see Doug Cronshaw fighting in out at the front of an important race at Bellevue. Down the back straight he goes. Hyde close gets in behind Cronshaw, but not close enough to use the bumper. But once again, more back markers are in front of the lead man as he comes into the home straight. Arnie Ball, Matt Marker getting shunted there. Billy Batten getting shunted. Cronshaw just snaked the back end a little bit there. He mustn't leave too much back end showing for Mike Close. Billy Batten interferes with the progress of the lead men as they go to that pit turn. Cronshaw trying to thread the car through a gap that wasn't there, but he holds on to his lead with Close, very much in close attendance. And they've got 2 to run now as they go through down to the front fair turn. Doug Cronshaw and Mike Close down the back straight. Billy Batten still in front of them, a lap down on the charts, but giving both of them something to think about. And Cronshaw almost cooks it on that pit turn. Through they go and down the home straight, and we're on the last. Round that front fair turn, and Close is going for the inside into the back straight. They're going down the back straight towards the pit turn. It's now or never for Mike Close. The bumper goes in hard on the back end of the Cronshaw car, and Close is going through on the inside. Back into the home straight they come, and Close has got a drop on him. And Mike Close wins it, and Doug Cronshaw has to settle the second. Frankie Wayman comes home in third place. Finishing fourth is Stuart Smith. Fidel Welters gets fifth, and Trevor Frost sixth, and behind them Peter Fording 7 and Gordon Smith 8. Billy Batten comes over the line, followed by Arnie Ball and George Ansell, and that's it. The Reds go out.
Tremendous ovation, and why not? Just listen to that, ladies and gentlemen, just listen to that. Dougie Cronshaw, 396, showing that there's life in the old dogs yet. Yeah, old fella got it in him there all the while.
I didn't think it was much good, but you were brilliant.
He gave you a good run for the money there, didn't he?
He did, pushed me all the way.
Good, and I'm sure that you're happy about winning that trophy?
Very happy, yeah.
Good, excellent. Mr. Atkinson, you couldn't have had a better race, I don't think.
Superb, really was, absolutely brilliant.
You don't look a day older, son.
I feel it.
Haven't lost your touch, have you?
No. Lost my voice.
He says he's lost his voice, I'm not surprised. You really got him going there, that was marvellous.
Is there any money left?
We're all working for free today, didn't you know?
Stuart isn't.
Which one?
Both.
You're probably right there. Anyway, Doug, it was marvellous to see you, and certainly hear the reaction on the centre green as you were roaring around there being chased by Mike Close. Did bring a lot of memories back. The leading question, any chance of seeing you in action in the future?
You'll have to wait and see, won't you?
He's been non-committal. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. He says we shall have to wait and see. So we will do. Thanks, Doug. Nice to have you with us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Dougie Cronshaw.
John Holton is the next in line, and the last of the Blues is Keith Riley in 3:28. So the pit gates are going together. That's the green. We're off and racing with the Brown Anglo-Scan Trophy, one of the qualifying heats for this afternoon's grand final. 18 cars on the green, and Phil Haig is the first to go in 4.54. He spins coming into the straight at the end of the rolling lap. Up on the front fair turn, Terry Jackson has turned around in 4.85. Phil Haig, the last one to get away, in 4.54. Mark Armitage onto the infield in 2.52. And one of the yellows, Paul Truesdale, I think, heading for the fence down at the end of the back straight. But it's Steve Booth who goes through the lead in 4.46 from Stuart Smith in 1.39 and Derek Coleman in 69. Back onto the track on the home straight goes Mark Armitage in 2.52. John Holton is parked by the fence at the start of that back straight in car 165. And the lead men go through. Steve Booth in the lead in 4.46 from Stuart Smith 139 and Derek Coleman 69. Now looks like Keith Riley has turned around down on the pits turn in 3.28. The top three are on the back straights, and it's Blues next with John Dawson 2.94 and Brian Branson 2.54. They are running fourth and fifth, and then the best of the Reds, Willie Harrison number 2 in sixth place. Into the back straight goes the lead man, Steve Booth, in 4.46. Stuart Smith running second in 1.39, Derek Coleman third in 6.9. No change in those top six places. It's still John Dawson 4, Brian Branson 5, Willie Harrison 6. Stuart Smith is through to 7th. Rod Fording 36 and Bobby Burns 4.71 are having a little battle for the field. Down on the pits turn, those two now chasing after the rest of the pack. And the lead cars are entering the pits bend. It's still Steve Booth from Stu Smith and Derek Coleman, 1, 2, 3. Behind them things are hotting up with two of the Blues there. John Dawson and Brian Branson now coming under pressure from Stuart Smith and Willie Harrison. Stuart Smith motoring through in number 1. Down around the funfair turn into the back straight, and Smith making up ground. Terry Jackson and Phil Haig have come together on the pits bend. Leader Steve Booth threads his way in between them, but loses the lead to Stu Smith in 1.39. So Booth relegated to second place. Back in third, Derek Coleman, Branson 4, Stuart Smith 5, Willie Harrison 6, John Dawson 7, Bobby Burns 8. Paul Truesdale climbs all over Phil Haig. Phil Haig takes out Brian Branson, Stuart Smith and Willie Harrison, leaving Smith and Harrison to find their way across the infield. And Phil Haig minding his own business but still taking people out. Bobby Burns almost gone on the pits turn. John Dawson completes the job. Phil Haig goes as well. And it's halfway next time round with Stuart Smith the leader in 1.39. Bobby Burns drives into the fence on the pits turn as the leader goes past him. Bob Baker pushes Jane Bean onto the infield, and at the halfway stage the leader is Stuart Smith in 1.39. Steve Booth is second in 4.46. Then we've got a gap back to third place, and we're waiting to see who emerges from the pits bend in third place. It is Derek Coleman in 69 with John Dawson 4, Rod Fording 5, Stuart Smith 6, Willie Harrison 7, Brian Branson 8, Pete Lancaster 9. Derek Coleman in the fence now on the funfair turn, so he's lost third place to John Dawson in 2.94. Phil Haig's out of the race and out of his car on the infield. We're into the second half, and on the back straight, a piece of the fence goes there as Derek Coleman and Brian Branson come together. John Dawson loses ground on the home straight, getting held up behind Paul Truesdale. 1.39, Stuart Smith the leader. They've got 5 laps to run next time round. It's Steve Booth in second place. Then we've got a gap back to third place, and that's the other Stuart Smith in car number 1. Willie Harrison is 4, John Dawson 5, Rod Fording 6, P. Lancaster in 7th place. The rest have been lapped by the leader. Keith Riley has gone on the pits turn, number 328. Bobby Burns still hunting around in 4.71. Terry Jackson retires to the infield in 4.85. And it's Stu Smith 1.39 who has the lead from Steve Booth, and Booth has cooked it on the pits turn, and so has Branson, both independently spinning there. But Booth was in second place, and he's just about to rejoin, but lose second place to Stuart Smith number 1. So it's Stuart Smith first and second at the moment. 1.39 leads number 1 as they go to the pits bend. And we're in the closing stages of the Brown Anglo-Scan Trophy. 3 laps to run for Stuart Smith, 1.39. Second place, Stuart Smith, number 1. Is he going to get a race win on this, his last day? It doesn't look as though he's going to get one in this one. He's more than a quarter of a lap down on his namesake leader in 1.39. And the 2-to-1 board is going out now for Stuart Smith, 1.39 down the home straight. Stuart Smith number 1 is second. We've got Steve Booth third and Willie Harrison 4 and John Dawson 5. Rod Fording is 6th. Behind them it's Pete Lancaster and then Bob Baker, and that's the top 8. And we're in the closing stages. And race leader Stuart Smith comes into the home straight to begin his last lap. Down to the funfair turn, 1.39 Stuart Smith, Number 1, Stuart Smith on his last lap now. Third place, Steve Booth, goes out onto his last lap. A 139 Stuart Smith on the pits turn for the last time as the other Stuart Smith tries to put Bobby Burns away. Checker flag goes out. Stuart Smith, 139 wins it. Stuart Smith, number 1, finishes second. We've got a loose wheel bouncing around on the pits turn. .743, Russell Taylor. And the green flag goes down. We're off into the Publicity Print Services race. And a wholesale tangle develops on the pit bend as the race gets underway. And that's taken out half a dozen cars down there on the pits turn. The lead man heading for the pits turn, coming back to the home straight now. And in the lead, it's 500 Roy Eaton from 57 Rob Lane and 383 Dave Johnson. Lots of traffic on the home straight. Paul Marler doing well to avoid the fence there in 183 as Wayneman and Tosley and Jopling push their way through. 216 Graham Francis tangled out down on the pits turn. That could well be Dave Beresford is in trouble down there as well in 260. Terry First is on the infield now in 414. 500 Roy Eaton, the leader on the back straight, and then Wolfenden taken out there over on the far side by Mel Mitchell. Wolfenden spun around there 190. The lead men are down on that back straight heading through, down on the pits turn. And it's Roy Eaton, the leader, in 500 from Rob Lane in 57. Then we got to get back to third place. And that's Pat Byrne in 310, behind him Dave Johnson in 383. Then we got Mick Rogers and Richard Mason. Then come the starmen. Nigel Hardy is next, and then Nigel Wharton. Rob Bradshaw slams the fence sideways on the home straight, but continues moving. Mike Close and Bert Finnick in touch with Hardy and Wharton. Frankie Wayman and Harry Smith are tangled out on the back straight. And still white top driver Roy Eaton leads the way in 500. Well known for super stocks exploits, of course, but not so well known in Bristol Formula 1, and leading the way, car 500. The lead men get down the back straight. Rob Lane still in second place in 57. Pat Byrne next, and then Dave Johnson, Mick Rogers. Then it's Nigel Hardy and Nigel Wharton, and then Bert Finnegan, who's now gone past Mike Close. Mick Rogers gets the bumper treatment from Nigel Hardy right in front of the pit gate as Hardy tries to improve his position. Wayman's racing again after that tangle with Harry Smith on the back straight. Another star man in trouble is Dave Tapping. He spun out in a tangle with Richard Mason over on the far side. We're coming to the halfway stage. It will be halfway next time. And Eaton goes through in the lead in 500 from Rob Lane in 57, and then Pat Byrne. And a tangle out there. Nigel Wharton has gone. Tangled out by Nigel Hardy on the home straight. Dave Tapping on the infield in 412. So Bert Finnegan using his front bumper, pushing his way through. Nigel Wharton limps off onto the infield with a flat back tyre. And up front last time round it was 500 first, 57 second. And they're a bit closer together over on the back straight now, down into the pits turn, and Rob Lane goes through as Roy Eaton drives out wide by the fence. The Lane's in trouble with a spinning Graham Franson 216, and Rob Lane taken onto the infield, and it's Pat Byrne who goes through. They've got 5 to run next time round. And checking on the charts, Pat Byrne appears to be a lap down, so it's 500 Roy Eaton who's still there in the lead. as they go through. Eaton the leader in 500. Bert Finnegan putting the pressure on Roy Eaton now as they go down to the pits turn. Eaton goes wide again and Finnegan is through and into the lead, and he's got 4 to run this time. So it's Finnegan the leader, 55. Rob Lane second and Mike Close third. Behind them come Dave Johnson. Then it's Roy Eaton and Ray Torsley, and then John London, Mike Shirley. Bert Finnegan is the race leader, number 55. Mike Close gets held up there as he goes past Graham France, down on the pit bend. Black flag for 216 Graham France if he doesn't retire. Yeah, so he's going off. Not only is he a flat tyre, he's almost completely lost that rear tyre. Bert Finnegan, the clear leader then. He's on the Funfair bend now, just pushing a lap down Colin Taylor out of his way, heading for the back straight. 55, Finnegan in the lead. Mike Close in second place in 199. Rob Lane third in 57. Ray Torsley is in fourth place. John Lund is fifth. Roy Eaton is sixth. Mike Shirley is seventh. And Melt Mitchell is eighth. And those are the placings as we go into the closing stages of this one. Bert Finnegan a long way clear. Checker flag about to go out then as Finnegan comes through on the home straight. And that's it, the Publicity Pin Services Trophy goes to Bert Finnegan in 55. Second man out.
To number 55 from League in Staffordshire, Bert Finnegan, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Mr. Ball. He's going to try and get round there. Go on, get off with you. Looks good over there. He's working hard, is that man? Nice round of appreciation and applause for Bobby Ball over on the far side, ladies and gentlemen, come on. He's working well. Those little legs are going. We're just going to have a little break when Bobby Ball's finished. There he is. He's getting a nice round of appreciation over there. Out today. The original artwork. My wife said, don't give it to Stuart Smith. It doesn't do him any honours. It makes him look a lot older than he really is. Well, I think it makes a 60-year-old look 50 years old, so that's pretty good, Stuart. Congratulations. It's been tremendous having you around all this time. You were a star before you were a star, and that's the measure of a true star. I remember you when you started, and you were a star then. You're still a star. It's nice to know that you're going out on top. Congratulations, Stuart. And from my wife. The other award is a series of illustrations of all the cars that you've raced since you've been racing. They're small enough to put on the back of the toilet door, so when you sit there, Stuart, they're all there to remember us by. Thank you, Keith. And you're still having a chat there, and I think now, ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause. Well done. That's it. Stuart, I think, getting a little bit overwhelmed at all these things that are happening to him this afternoon. And now it's his turn. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of out there on the raceway driving, you're going to listen to him talking, Stuart Smith.
Thank you, everybody. It's a bit hard to put words to how I feel today, but I owe a lot of thanks and gratitude to people who've made this meeting possible today. And in a token of appreciation, I'd like to present, there's about 5 or 6 trophies here, or mementos. First of all, to Steve Gill from the Daily Mirror. I'd like to step over here, Steve. Thanks for everything you've done. and thanks for everything you've done for the sport. Also, can I ask Pete Hearn to come forward? Don't put that on the toilet now, right? Thank you, Peter. Bev Greenhoff, please. Thank you, Bev. You've done a grand job today. Thank you. Also, Ray Liddy, can you come forward, please? He's done a hell of a lot to help me out today with this meeting, with the publicity and that. Thanks a lot, Ray. Have I missed anybody out? Oh, Keith, yeah. Yeah, Keith. Thank you very much, Keith, for all you've done. The programme's brilliant. Thank you.
I should perhaps add that a lot of the programme was Pete Hearn. In fact, the majority of it was Pete Hearn, so Pete deserved the credit there. Very kind of you to make a small award. We don't expect these things, and it's really very nice when it does come as a total surprise. We should have a total surprise for you somewhere coming out of the pits any moment if they'll just rev her up and bring her on. Right, just let's wait a moment for a surprise or two. And thanks to Stuart, as Keith said, it's always very nice to be on the official side or the floating side and get a little something. Super. Now then. Look at this then, ladies and gentlemen. That brings back a few memories, doesn't it? Names like Stuart Smith, of course, but also Albert Griffin, Big Ron Skinner, and the man who's had a hand in bringing these cars out here today is Sir Keith, and I think really he's the man to tell you just a little bit more and remind you about those cars. Keith, would you do that, please? Well, first of all, the total surprise to me is the car that is nearest to the fence, that Ken Hopes has found, belongs to Graham Moles or has just changed hands to Ken Hopes. That was the car with which Stuart won the 1969 and 1972 World Finals, just driven on there by Andrew Smith. Pushed on as misfortune would have it because the car was running earlier this afternoon, but for some unknown reason has ceased to perform. But the car you see there closest to the fence is the car that Stuart won World Finals with in 1969 and 1972. And Stuart is now going for a lap around the track in the car that made him famous, the car built by Albert Griffin in 1964. Stuart first raced the car in August of 1966 and became an instant star. He was a star without a red roof. He was a yellow top at that time. He drove was as a star would perform. He performed beyond anybody's expectations, and that is the car that first in 1967, or was it either the engine that Stuart originally raced when he first had the car, or certainly the one that he had alongside as his spare. So there it goes, the car that he won the 1969 and 72 World Finals with, being pushed around by the car that he first gained his red roof with in 1967. Thanks, Keith. Well, about a fortnight ago, in fact, I was working down in Worcestershire, not too far from Ron Skid Skinner. Many of you will perhaps remember him, number 316, the Persia Giant, one of the few white top drivers ever to get into the first three of the Personality of the Year award, sponsored by the British Stock Car Racing Supporters Association. Always billed as the 24-stone Persia Giant. And we had a little chat, a bit of Ron's wine and another chat, and eventually we managed to persuade him to perhaps think about letting that car out of his sight, because he's sworn never ever to do anything with it. It won't be chopped up or anything, and certainly at one time I know that he was going to put it on a pedestal in front of his house and have it there as a permanent memento. But there it is. It's been good to see it, and I think that we should say thanks to Ron as well for letting it out of his sight, because he's going to have it back. He wants it back, and he's going to keep it. And certainly Keith has done a wonderful job in getting them restored to really just original condition. It's marvellous, and again brings back lots and lots of memories. Really smashing.
Consolation event, and Belle has stalled on the front fair bend in 3-1-0. The rest of them thunder by. And the lead men go down into the front fair turn on the opening lap. Tony Smith has spun himself away onto the infield. The Stuart Bamford car is turned around with the mystery driver at the wheel down on the pits turn. And a tangle developing where Pat Byrne was parked, so one or two of them piling in. And the lead man is Roger Mitchell in 103. He's going into the back straight now, pursued by the 135 car. Then it's 454 and 485. And we've already got lots of cars all spread around the circuit. The leaders are heading through on the home straight. 103 Roger Mitchell has been passed now by Colin Taylor in 135. Phil Hague is third and Terry Jackson is 4. Behind them Stuart Gledhill is in 5th place. Tony Smith is 6, Mick Rogers 7. And Graham France 8. And the best of the Reds, it looks like Nigel Wharton. Roger Mitchell has gone. The 103 car parks up behind Pat Byrne at the start of the back straight. Colin Taylor the leader, 135. Second is Phil Hague and third Terry Jackson. 4 Stuart Gledhill. In 5th place Mick Rogers, 6 Graham France, 7 Brian Branson, 8 Mick Noden. Nigel Wharton pushing and shoving down into the front fair turn. Joe Joplin forced out wide there. But Joplin holds on to his place and keeps in front of Wharton as they go to the back straight. Down Valters and Ian Richards moving through nicely, and Nigel Wharton determined to get Joe Joplin out of the way. He's done that now. Joe Joplin chasing after Nigel Wharton now after that little coming together they had on the pits turn. 328 Keith Riley on the infield. Oh, and Joe Joplin bounces the fence on the back straight. Bobby Burns joins Fidan Walters and Ian Richards going through. Walters goes to the fence and bounces Mick Rogers. And Bobby Burns also in no mood to hang about this afternoon. Up front it's still Colin Taylor in 135 from Phil Hague in 454, then Terry Jackson and Stuart Gledhill. Behind them it's Mick Noden and Nigel Wharton. Then comes Nigel Hardy and Bobby Burns. Nigel Wharton trying to take Mick Noden out this time on the pits turn, and Nigel Wharton's front bumper certainly working hard this afternoon. Brian Branson into the fence at the end of the back straight, car 254. And the lead men around on the pits turn now. Still Colin Taylor holding on to the lead position from Phil Hague and Terry Jackson, and then Stuart Gledhill, and then Nigel Wharton under pressure from Mick Noden. And the lead men go through. It will be halfway for them next time round. So the top 8 are heading through into the back straight as we approach the halfway stage in the TNT same day consolation event. Into the home straight they come. Colin Taylor the leader, Phil Hague second, and that battle between Noden and Wharton hotting up, and Noden has taken Wharton away on the pits turn. The top 3 have gone through. Bobby Burns has gone 4, Nigel Hardy 5, Stuart Gledhill 6, Len Wolfen 7, Frankie Wayman 8, Dave Beresford 9, Peter Fording 10. Ian Richards is parked up on the middle. Fidan Walters barges his way through. He's well down the places. And Colin Taylor coming under pressure now from Phil Hague. Those two go down the back straight together. Mick Noden has gone to the fence on the front fair turn in 306. Terry Jackson is third, Bobby Burns 4, Nigel Hardy 5. And here come the lead men through once again. Well, we approach the closing stages because they've got 5 to run next time round. It's Colin Taylor in 135 from Phil Hague in 454. Into the back straight they go. Back in third place, it's Terry Jackson in 485. And it looks as though Phil Hague's got his driving head on this afternoon. He's taking Colin Taylor out, and Phil Hague hits the front. They've got 5 to run, and Phil Hague is the leader with Terry Jackson in second place, and Bobby Burns gaining on the top 2. He's in third place with Nigel Hardy 4, Len Wolfen in 5, Frankie Wayman 6, Dave Beresford 7. Peter Fording 8, Nigel Wharton 9th, and out of the qualifying places at the moment. And now Bobby Burns sets his sights on those 2 yellow tops in front of him as they come off the pits bend and through onto the home straight. Phil Hyde the leader, Terry Jackson second, and under pressure from Burns, who didn't get past in the first attempt. And now Nigel Hardy and Burns and Jackson almost tangled on the front fair turn, and Burns and Hardy have tangled out. And Phil Hyde is left clear of the front in 4.54. Are we going to get a fairy tale ending to this one? As the personality of the year comes into the home straight, holding the lead position. 4.54, Phil Hyde goes down to the front fair turn. Terry Jackson getting closer to him now in 4.85. There's a long gap back to Lane Wolfen in third, Frankie Wayman 4, Beresford 5, Hardy 6, 14 7, Wharton 8. And on the back straight and down to the pits turn, it's Haig and Jackson, and they're fairly close together now. And a couple of back markers in front of Phil Haig, who got the back end a little far around there and almost cooked it. They got 2 to 1 as they go through this time. Down on the front fair turn, and Haig gets the back end out again, and Jackson's putting the pressure on him. And with all those star men on track, all eyes are on those 2 yellow tops battling it out, but the stars are getting closer. They've got a half and a half to go. Wolfen and Wayman are coming through, and they're being assisted by Dave Beresford. And on the pits turn, and Haig almost losing it, and Jackson closes on him, and this is the last lap they're starting. Phil Haig goes down to the front fair turn in the lead. I should think everybody's behind him, and he's covered a park car, and Jackson's gone through, and it's all over for Phil Haig, and Terry Jackson's the new leader. And then Wolfen in his second. And Terry Jackson is down on the pit turn, holding on with Wolfen and chasing. And this is going to be a memorable one as well. Terry Jackson goes over the line and takes it. Second man home is Wolfen, and in third Dave Beresford. 4 Frankie Wayman, 5 Nigel Hardy, 6 came Nigel Wharton. Up Terry Jackson, and Belle will be talking to him in just a moment. It's all satisfied with that pathetic attempt at a rolling lap. 148 and Roy Eaton in 500, and that's the 1-2-3 round the front fair turn into the back straight. 190, and Wolfen retires to the infield. And there's 1 car left from the second of the pit bend tangles as the lead men come through. Round the front fair turn and into the back straight go the lead men. 4-1-2, Dave tapping onto the infield. 139 Stuart Smith is parked up on the back straight. And it's 500, Roy Eaton who's taken over the lead position. Mel Neutral second and John Dowson third. Behind them Jeff Wilkinson and then Graham France, and then goes Mike Close, and then Stuart Smith and John Lund. And statistics reckon that Stuart Smith is on 499 finals. He's looking for his 500th on this his farewell meeting. He's moving well at the moment and getting through the field with the rest of the starmen. Number 1 Stuart Smith goes through. 53 John Lund in close attendance. The lead men are down on the pits turn. Roy Eaton holds on to his lead in 500. Coming back through down the home straight. Mel Neutral in second place as they go through down towards the front fair turn. John Dowson in third place there. Mike Close up to fourth, and Stuart Smith is closing on the leaders, and he's in fifth. And the action spread out around the circuit. Gaggle of cars heading for the pits turn. The leading group in amongst them. The top 2 have gone through. Dowson and Mike Close are next, and then Graham France, and then Stuart Smith, and John Lund and Bert Finnegan. And it's still Roy Eaton at the front with another lap completed. Rob Lane, 57, doing his best to get Fred and Walters into the fence up on the front fair turn there, but not quite quick enough. Eaton, the leader, comes through from the pit bend back into the home straight. Stuart Smith in trouble with that marker, 121 Chris Wilkinson, and losing ground over on the far side. Mel Neutral is in second place and through to the front fair turn. John Dowson third, Mike Close 4, Graham France 5, Bert Finnegan is 6, Nigel Hardy 7, John Lund 8, Stuart Smith 9, and Dave Beresford 10. Behind Beresford it's Frankie Wayman. Roy Eaton has been at the front for some time, but he's having trouble now with the lap down mark. Webster up on the Funfair bend in 2:26. This is the halfway we're coming to. So coming to the halfway stage with 500, Roy Eaton the leader down on the pits turn. The Union Jack about to go out as Eaton goes through down the home straight. Mount Neutral in second place in 3:22. Third is 55, Finnegan. Fourth, 1:99, Mike Close. Fifth is 2:94, John Daston. 6:317, Nigel Hardy. In seventh place is 53, John Lund. Eighth is number 1, Stuart Smith. In ninth place is 268, Dave Beresford. And 10th is 212, Frankie Wayman. And those are the top 10 at the halfway stage. But Finnegan has shot through to be the leading star man now. He's into third place in 55. Mike Close has dropped down a little bit. But still Roy Eaton has the lead in 500. And they're not getting any closer to him at the moment. Mount Mitchell in second place. He's coming under pressure now from Bert Finnegan in 55. There's plenty of battles going on amongst the star men further on down the line. But it's still Roy Eaton the leader. Mount Mitchell second and under pressure from Bert Finnegan with Mike Close back in fourth. Then comes John Lund and John Dawson, and then Stuart Smith. Now Roy Eaton has been at the front on his own for a long time. He's still there, he's into the back straight. And now Mount Mitchell feeling the Finnegan bumper on that front fair turn, and Finnegan is through to second, and Close follows him and puts the pressure on. And Nigel Wharton has spun himself down on the Funfair turn. 500, Roy Eaton goes through, and they've got 5 laps to run next time round. And the race leader having a problem now with Rob Lane, number 57. Ray Tursley has gone, and something lying on the track, we think not too far behind, about 20 yards behind the Ray Tursley car. So we keep our eyes on that situation as Roy Eaton continues in the lead in 500. Bert Finnegan second and Mike Close third. But then come the battle of these star men going through. It's John Lund, Stuart Smith. Behind them, John Dawson and Mount Mitchell. The bumpers really flying amongst those chasing cars. But is Roy Eaton, the former Superstocks champion, going to hold on to his lead in 500? He's down on the Funfair turn with Finnegan second and Close third. And that parked car on that pits bend has caused them problems throughout the race. Chris Wilkinson's just hit that parked car. And Roy Eaton goes through again in 500 with Bert Finnegan just closing the gap a little bit in 55. So Finnegan hasn't ruled himself out of winning this one yet. He's still trying to catch Roy Eaton out front, and the Twitter on board is about to go out. Frankie Wayman has gone at the end of the home straight in 2-1-2 as Roy Eaton goes into the penultimate lap, and Bert Finnegan closing the gap at a fair rate of knots into the back straight, and it's beginning to look as though Finnegan could take this final. Down towards the pits bend, Roy Eaton still in the lead, but Finnegan closes on him. Around that bend and into the home straight they come, and this is the 1 lap to Underwood. Going out, 500, Roy Eaton under pressure now from 55 Finnegan. Down to the Funfair turn they go. Finnegan narrowly missing the Wayman Park car into the back straight. They're almost side by side, but Finnegan hits a hole and slows him down. Eaton has the lead down towards that pits bend. This is it, his last time round. And Eaton takes the inside line round that parked car. Finnegan trying to find the grip to get past him, and he's done it. And it's a race to the line, and Finnegan throws Eaton towards the fence and takes the flag. Eaton finishes second with Mike Close third. Frankie Wayman goes through, having restarted in the closing stages. John Lund finishes in fourth place.
Coming through and across to